going to be kind of like a day in the life, like walkthrough, I guess. And also include like meals and like what changed really in my diet. So right now I'm in my bathroom because the lighting is fucking bomb. But right now I have 6 ounces of chicken and 2 ounces of sweet potato in the microwave, and that's gonna be meal 1. I'll show you guys meal 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have 5 meals a day. Right now I am mostly eating fish and asparagus and sweet potatoes, so that's pretty much it. Meal 1's the only one with chicken, so that's what's happening right now. I woke up this morning at 137 pounds, and if you guys know me, I typically don't step on the scale, but lately when I've stepped on the scale, I've been at a stagnant like 140, haven't been able to drop weight. So now that I'm like drastically dropping, things are moving where they need to go, leaning out as I need to, and we'll see where the rest of this gets us. So savage, huh?
Yeah.
Because of food on your belly?
Yes, shut up. I know you're recording it too, you little shit.
Hey guys, so we...
Hi. Try getting attitude again.
Oh no, I had enough attitude earlier.
So we are eating meal number 2 right now, and his meal 2 is Nami's.
Delicious.
Which is what? It's chicken and white potatoes. That's his pre-workout meal. My meals are not like pre-workout. I just eat them in order, obviously. But so my meal right now, as you can see, is asparagus and cod. So I have 6 ounces asparagus and like what, 2/3 cup of 6 ounces of 6 ounces of cod, 2/3 cup asparagus, and that's my meal. That's meal 2. And yeah, so we're gonna eat that. Drinking water and killing the game. Seafood, my favorite. It is currently 10:19 on Thursday night, and I know I said I was gonna record like what I was eating and like all that stuff, but things just got kind of out of hand today, and I left my camera fucking here at home instead of like taking it with me to the gym because I was gonna record leg day. But if you go to my Instagram, which is at Mrs_Mighty with 2 Y's _mouse, and I will put the tag name right here for you to see it. If you go to my Instagram, there are clips from the workouts that we did today during legs. So that was fun. What I wanted to talk about in this video originally, well, even now, like obviously it's still gonna happen. Megan, calm down. I wanted to talk about like meal prepping and what my diet looks like right now. So I've been asked a lot what my diet looks like right now and how it's changed. So when I first started prep, my diet consisted of chicken and red meat. Like that was what I ate. That was, I ate 6 ounces of chicken throughout the day. And then I incorporated red meat into a couple of my chicken meals leading up to, you know, obviously my final meal. So that was always like before my show. So like, or not before my show, before my workouts, I always had the chicken and red meat meals. So with that being said, I had a lot more fats and a lot more carbs in my diet. Then I dropped down to where I was eating no red meat. It was all chicken, 6 ounces of chicken with every single meal. And I've consistently been eating 5 times a day for this diet and for this prep. So 5 meals a day, it was all chicken, 6 ounces chicken. I've been eating mixed veggies with a lot of shit, and sweet potatoes is my like main carb, and like oatmeal. So that's kind of like the same kind of diet I would give to like clients and stuff, because you know those are some really great food choices that are really good for giving your body what it needs and also helping promote like weight loss and stuff of that nature. So that being said, my diet now, I still have 1 meal, which is 1 meal of chicken, which is my first meal, which you saw in this video is 1 meal with 6 ounces of chicken and 6 ounces of chicken, 2 ounces sweet potato, right? So that's meal 1. Meal 2 is 6 ounces of cod and 2/3 cup of asparagus. Meal 3 is 6 ounce cod and 2 ounces of sweet potato, and that's the same for meal 4. And then meal 5 is 6 ounces of cod, 2/3 cup asparagus, and 1 rice cake. Yeah, 1 rice cake. No, yes. I don't know. My husband's got my like legit diet on his phone and I can't even fucking remember if I have a rice cake now or not. I don't think I do. I'm pretty sure it's just asparagus and fish because I'm close to show. Anyways, 24 fucking days out. 23 days actually by the time this video goes up. So, that's what kind of like the diet looks like. I know in the next week my coach will probably drop the chicken from the diet, and honestly, I feel like my carbs are gonna stay the same unless my weight doesn't drop. So like I said earlier in this video, I have been at a stagnant like 140 for weeks now, and that's partially due to stress, due to like the car situation and stuff like that, but it's been very like frustrating. And it's not even like frustrating like I've been getting on the scale like every single morning and been like, why aren't you going down? But it's frustrating because the sporadic times I do get on the scale when I first wake up, it's always the same. It's always been 142 to 140. So today I stepped on the scale this morning, didn't drink anything, woke up, used the restroom, stepped on the scale, and I was 137. So that right there is pretty awesome. Thing about that is my last show I competed about 130 pounds or 128 pounds, 130, 128, somewhere around there. And I think the goal for this show is I'm still trying to drop as much weight as I can in the next like 20 days. So things that I've noticed with like the diet change that my coach has implemented is that my body has drastically tightened up. So my abs have tightened up, my biceps have tightened up. Like I have a bunch of veins that are starting to show themselves, and my cuts are definitely starting to come out a lot more. So I've always been a more like defined person. I've always had, you know, more defined abs, more defined legs, things of that nature. But my upper body tends to be vascular from like the elbow down. So I have no badass bicep veins that like pop out, which pisses me off because that's all I want in my life. And my chest and my shoulders get like really crazy like blue spider veins across them. Obviously you can't see them now because I'm not like super pumped, but things are starting to go the way that they should for a prep, and considering it'll be 3 weeks out on Saturday, things are going good. I'm sitting a lot better than I was at 3 weeks out from my last show, and that's pretty fucking awesome. So another thing that I want to talk about is like supplementation, like what I'm taking right now. So when it comes to dieting, I don't use protein powder leading up to the show this close. So like with it being 24 days out, 4 weeks out, whatever, I'm not drinking protein before or after my workouts. Before, leading up to, being this close to the show, I was drinking protein before and after my workouts, and that was kind of like what I would get. That would also help boost my protein intake. Now I am taking a half scoop of BCAAs before and then a half scoop of BCAAs after my workout. So that's kind of like what I'm taking for that. And then I haven't, like, my last show, I started taking Expel, which is like a water pill to like excrete water from your body, which is like crucial when you're doing this because you want to be able to like pull as much water from like your skin as possible, so you have like your physique is better seen on stage. I can't even fucking talk right now. I didn't start taking Expel till I was a week out, and that was pretty, it just did what it did. You can pick that up at your local GNC, anything like that. With that being said, another thing that I want to talk about is like what to expect when starting a bodybuilding comp. Like, what do people typically do from the beginning all the way through to the end? So I've already talked about food choices. I've already talked about stuff like that. There are a lot of people who, especially like bikini competitors, that will do an if it fits in your macros diet, and they'll be able to balance their intake based off what their macros are set at. And I am the kind of person that I can't do that. I need to have like a strict diet, and if I don't have a strict diet, then I'm not gonna follow it, and I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I want. So I pay someone to tell me what to eat, when to eat it, and I fucking do it. So with that being said, like, once you figure out what method will work best for you, stick to it. Be aware that you're probably gonna have to make changes, but typically if you find something that works for you, you shouldn't have to change anything. I stuck with my first like style of meal, like my chicken, red meat, sweet potato, mixed veggie diet. I was on that diet for about, let's see, I had a 16-week prep. I was on that diet for 4 weeks. Then I cut the amount of red meat out, like I lowered the amount. I was on that diet for 4 weeks, and at 8 weeks, that's when I switched to no red meat, to chicken. And then now I've switched to, 4 weeks later, I've switched to a predominantly all fish meal. So I stuck with the same thing over and over again. And that's one of the things is like people are constantly like looking for like changes and asking like, what should I eat now? Your body, you shouldn't have to change. I mean, especially if you are new to this and you're used to eating pretty sporadically or eating fast food or whatever. If you change to like a healthier diet or like more consistent diet, your body's gonna react. Now, granted, you may hit a stagnant area, but that's where you talk to your coach or you fluctuate your carb intake, go high carb, low carb. I don't really carb cycle. I just eat what I eat. Like a lot of people carb cycle, I don't. I eat a set amount every single day for weeks on end until my coach tells me different, and it fucking works. So you have to figure out what works best for your body. You may need to carb cycle, you may not need to. It depends on what works for you. With that being said, when it comes to like building up to, the final few weeks of like your show, you will end up eating the basic bodybuilder foods, which are like fish and asparagus. And you're gonna know you're in fucking prep and at the tail end of it when you're using the restroom and you smell asparagus every single time you go. Every time. That you're upping your water intake slowly. That way by the time you hit peak week, you can start, if you need to water manipulate. Some people don't need to, but a lot of people in this industry do what's called a water, overload, a water manipulation, right? So they'll overload their bodies with water. So my husband drank 3 gallons of water a day. I drank 2 gallons of water a day for about 3 days. So I started that on Sunday, and Wednesday was when I started tapering down, or Wednesday, started tapering down. So I started Sunday, started water overloading. On Wednesday, I drank 1.5. Thursday, I drank 1. And then Friday, I drank a half gallon before 5 p.m. And that was all the water I drank. And then the next day for the show, if I used the restroom, I would like have like a sip of water. And that was it. Before my show, before I stepped on stage, my diet, my show day, like I wasn't like the people who sit around with like bags of M&Ms and are like, oh yeah, snacking. No. My diet show day was pretty strict. It was pretty much all carbs. I think it was like an ounce of, I had some kind of sweet potato, which on that show day, I actually ended up eating baby food because I didn't have a microwave in my hotel because I did not plan ahead. Ended up eating sweet potato for meal 1, and it was like 2.5 hours later or an hour and a half later, I had 2 rice cakes. And then before I went on stage for prejudging, I had 2 rice cakes with grape jelly and a piece of dark chocolate. Then I repeated that again, same all the way up to finals, where I had 2 rice cakes with jelly and a piece of dark chocolate, all to give my insulin my insulin levels a spike so that my pump for the stage would be like fucking incredible. So that's what that looked like. And I'm telling you right now, after my show, we had gone to, where'd we go? We went to like Albertsons before, and we were in Vegas because that's where my last show was. And I saw this fucking red velvet cake and I said, babe, we are getting it. And my husband held that shit in his fucking backpack. And I got off stage, still in my suit, crown on my head, trophy in hand, walking in my heels. I walked all the way fucking out there and I said, where's that cake? He gave me a kiss. He said, here you go. And I ate that bitch in 5 fucking minutes. And it was so funny. I remember this old woman walked by and she was like, you know what, good for you. You deserve that. And I was like, fuck yeah, I did. Hell yeah. So I definitely went kind of crazy because after that, I think I walked out and ended up eating like, I think I ended up getting like a Frappuccino from Starbucks. Then I got a Butterfinger and like we just bought a bunch of junk food. Then we went to go get sushi. We both had like 3 or 4 drinks. Came back to the room. We both had a bottle of wine for ourselves, which I didn't even touch mine. I fell asleep before then because I was just fucking like sugar overload, crash, exhausted. I mean, spray cheese and Ritz. I mean, we fucking went overboard, like overboard. And honestly, it was kind of like good because like my first prep, I pretty much starved myself. So I didn't really like do what I needed to do right. And I pretty much ate whatever I wanted. And I was pretty sickly when I did that. Like I would eat like a Snickers or a burrito and then like throw it up, which is obviously wrong. So, I mean, it was good having that little break after this last show that I just did. Now, with that being said, for this show, the goal is to go into this show and to nationally qualify. Once I'm nationally qualified, then I might have like 1 or 2 days where I'm just kind of like relaxing and, you know, eating what I want. And then after that, it's back to like the drawing board, and it's going to be an intense grow season. I'm going to have about 8 months of growing and off season, leading up into like about a 4-month prep for my my shot at my pro card at USA's next year. So that's the game plan for both me and Scott. He's going to be competing at USA's next year. He's in his grow season right now, and, you know, is building up towards that. And he's going to be competing in, I believe, classic physique, just because he's really fucking good when it comes to posing. And I mean, he's going to fucking kill it. So that's our game plan for that. Tips for meal prep. Some people like to package their meals separately and like get everything ready like that. We do not. What we do for our meal prep is we will cook everything in bulk, meaning we will put all of our chicken in the oven all at once, cook it, throw it all in the same Tupperware. Same with the fish, same Tupperware. Everything goes in its own separate Tupperware. Like literally our fridge is so fucking empty, and we have like 4 Tupperwares in there full of like diet food. Which is good, because I'm the kind of person that like would be like, oh shit, we had a cheat meal and we still have leftover like fucking cookie dough, and I'm gonna go in there and fucking eat it when Scott's not home. So definitely had to get rid of all the junk food in the house. Today was pretty stressful, I'm not gonna lie. I was a raving bitch like all day, and like I'm not like saying I was a bitch, like I'm not a mean person, but sometimes I can seem pretty mean. I mean, ask my fucking mom. Oh, mother, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for everything I put you through growing up. I love you. But I'm not a mean person, but I feel very strongly. If y'all have watched my videos on my YouTube channel, or if like you saw some of my older posts on my Instagram, I have borderline personality disorder. So what that means is I have either a really, really high moment or a really, really low moment. There really is no in between. So I'm either feeling really, really fucking good, everything's great, or I'm feeling fucking terrible. And an example of that would be like today, my husband said something and for some reason it just set me off. So like you have to, you know, put together BPD, borderline personality disorder, with a contest prep at the tail end of such, where all carbs are starting to slowly dwindle down. It's a recipe for fucking disaster. So kudos to my husband for being able to stick with me, but today he just said something and I just snapped. And the thing is, like, whenever I go through those moments where I'm like super just emotional or like feeling some fucked up type of way, I literally will tell myself, Megan, why are you upset? Megan, this is nothing to be upset about. But I'm so angry because I'm telling myself this as I'm screaming or as I'm yelling or as I'm like crying. Like I'm literally telling myself there's no reason to be acting like that. And then I get even more emotional and even more angry and even more upset because I physically I can't stop it. So those are what I went through. And of course, it's kind of like one of those things where it happens. A minute later, I come in and I'm like, babe, I am so sorry. And he's just like, it's okay. Like he's I don't want to say he's used to it. I don't do this shit all the time. I fucking promise you. But it's definitely been challenging for him to like be with me, which is why it's really awesome that he got with me during the last 2 weeks of my last show. So he knows how I am to a T 100%. And that I think is amazing because he still chose to marry me and chose to be with me after seeing me after meeting me at like one of my most vulnerable points. So I think that's another big thing when it comes to like this is finding people who support you, finding someone who supports you and someone that's gonna like help you reach your dreams, or friends that are gonna push you there and like support you wholeheartedly. That's the reason why social media is such a big deal and why people use it, is because it's always motivational to have people share the same likes and interests with you and be able to, you know, share that with each other. And that's the reason why I use social media. Is I like being surrounded by like-minded people. I like being in groups that are positive. So go ahead and do me a favor, guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and click down below.
click the like button, give it a huge thumbs up. Boom, boom. Give it a huge thumbs up and comment below and let me know what else you'd like.